Welcome to the Bravely Connected podcast. I'm your host, Connie Jakab. Every week I show up here giving you tips and tools on how can you remain bravely connected to yourself and to others. Hit that subscribe button because this is all for you. You ready to dive in for today? Let's go. So this week, I want to share with you an emotional intelligence tool that is going to take you out of rumination. So rumination is dangerous. It keeps us stuck in the same loops. It doesn't allow us to move forward. It keeps us powerless. It keeps us as a victim. We never are able to move forward. And so this is why rumination is not a good thing. And oftentimes, we as human beings, we look within, we look to how we're feeling, we look to what's going on in our life, and we don't know how to move ourselves out of rumination. So, the problem with mental health, the focus on wellness and well being, inner well being, is that it opens this Pandora's box to the inside of us, and there we are. And this is where we might feel like I almost need a PhD to unlock the inner workings of my world. Because if I acknowledge how I feel and if I acknowledge my story, I am going to lose it. I'm going to be going to the nut house. I had a friend tell me, and it makes total sense if we don't know how to move ourselves past ruminating around the traumas, around the emotions. And so I want to share with you something very simple that I do to get myself out of rumination, allow myself to acknowledge the emotions that are there. Because here's the thing, your emotions are dictating every behavior that comes out of you today. But your emotions are partnered with something else. And it's that something else that I want to get to today. This is a part of my Bravely Connected method. This is the one thing that I've used in my own life to become a stable, emotionally steady, not by up and down type of mom or person in my relationships, but I've been able to kind of keep a steadiness to myself because of this step that I'm going to share with you today. If you're a teacher, this is going to help you with your students. If you're a parent, you're going to be able to parent better. If you're in any kind of relationship, my Bravely Connected method is not just for parents and teachers, it's for anyone who has a relationship with another human. Because how many of you know that relationships with humans are complex and they're not easy? So when I ask myself, how am I feeling? I often used to find myself saying, I feel because, and then after the because came like a big ramble. And this is where our problem is. And now we've opened that Pandora's box. We now feel worse. We're now ruminating. We're in that loop and we can't get out of it. And so, what I would encourage us all to do right off the top is let's take out the word because. Whether I'm talking to myself, whether I'm venting to a friend, whether I'm in a counseling session, I feel, state your feeling, because we're going to take the word because out of it. This is going to save so much for you. It's going to save you money in your counseling session. This is going to give you clarity. This is going to move you out of rumination. So, what do we do instead? What do we say instead of because? Well, let me just cover what we're doing when we say because. So, if I'm angry, I'm so angry because often what comes out of my mouth, maybe not yours, is I'm so angry because you didn't clean up your mess this morning. And when you don't do that, it just drives me nuts because I'm always the one that's having to clean up your mess. So, first of all, I'm not managing me in that moment. I'm literally projecting onto somebody else, you made me angry. And that's powerlessness, my friends. Powerlessness means I allow others to make me. You make you. Anger is already in there. Somebody just brought it out. So that's keeping me in a powerless situation and moving me towards blame. The other thing that the word because does is let's say this. I was so anxious because Sally was going to be in the same room today. And I just don't know if I can handle being around her because we had this big falling out and she talked to so and so and they talked to so and so. And I just don't feel safe when I go into that room because I know that Sally will be there and who knows what rumors she spread about me. Do you see the rumination? Now, Sally, because I am nervous and anxious about Sally. Again, powerlessness. What can I do about that? I can't remove Sally from the room. I can't stop people from not cleaning up their mess. I'm trying to control everything around me except for one person. And who is that, friends? I'm trying not to control me. I am angry. I am anxious because of other people, because of these situations. And what it does is it keeps us locked into that victim that we are not. Now, oftentimes, friends, I'm not saying that there aren't things that you cannot, there's so many things out of your control, so many things out of your control. I get that. But what I'm going to teach you right now is how to acknowledge your emotion, which is so important because the opposite side of this pendulum is to be like, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. I don't feel anything. We choose not to feel anything because people don't want to hear it or we don't want to be powerless, but we don't know how to work in the middle. Well, this is going to help you work in the middle. So what is it? Let's get to it, right, Connie? So this is what I want you to replace it with. I feel angry. And what it sounds like in my head is, and I want you to name the sentences that go through your mind. Now, at first, I'm not going to lie, this is going to be challenging because what you're identifying is subconscious thought. Now, subconscious thought is not conscious to you. It's underneath, it's literally buried in the ground. If you can imagine in the back of your brain, little filing cabinets that haven't been opened in years, those are subconscious thoughts. And so, for example, I feel so angry. And what it sounds like in my mind is I am overworked. I'm always cleaning up this house. That's it. That's what it sounds like in my head as a sentence. And I might, if I have a journal or if I'm just driving, I might start thinking, yeah, okay, what are the other sentences? Because what we're revealing is subconscious thought that is partnering with those emotions. They're creating neural pathways in your brain, ways of believing, ways of living, ways of interacting with the world. It's forming your perceptions. And then out come behaviors like lashing out at my kids because I'm overwhelmed. But if I stay in rumination, I'm going to stay as that angry, naggy mother. Whereas if I learn how to, yeah, I'm angry. It's because I'm overworked and I feel like I'm always cleaning this house. That's what it sounds like as a sentence. Now I'm bringing something out of chaos and I'm holding it instead of it holding me. Or I feel anxious and what it sounds like to me as a sentence. And if I really dig down deep, what it sounds like as a sentence is, I don't belong if Sally's in the room. Now, is it true? Your sentences, they might not be true, but you need to name them because those sentences, those subconscious thoughts, doesn't matter if they're true or not. They're swimming around in your subconscious, partnering with emotions and outcome behaviors. I'm not going. I'm not going to that room anymore. I'm not going to hang out with those friends. I'm going to start a group chat without Sally. Like, and we start reacting to life rather than responding. What's beautiful is that when you identify these subconscious thoughts with emotions, you're going to get somewhere. And then, how many of you know the third step in this is my tune in process. What I'm doing is breaking this down for you. If you can get to the third step of what behaviors do I notice coming out as a result? Well, I stop showing up. I deny myself going to a class that I loved because Sally's there. And so I don't want to deal with her anymore. If I can start to notice those things, I can start to choose to make choices because you are a powerful person who can make powerful decisions for yourself. If I acknowledge my anxiety, I acknowledge the sentence that says, you don't belong when Sally's in the room. And I notice that I avoid rooms that she's in. I can then ask myself, is that what I want? And then I can respond to it. I can choose something. Whereas before, I was a victim. Sally has now sabotaged my life. There's no way I have a choice in this. And you always have a choice, friends. You always have a choice. You can't control Sally. You can't control your kids picking up their stuff off the ground all the time. You can't control your classroom and every dynamic that's going on. But what you can control is naming your emotion. What does it sound like as the sentence? Noticing your behaviors, and then what do you want to do with it? What do you want to do with it? So I want you to practice. Now, I am here not to sit in front of the screen and show you this on YouTube or hear my voice on Spotify. I am here for you to lead you and to coach you and to guide you through this. And so, what I would love for you to do is email me if you want, and I will walk you through what you just did, your emotion, your subconscious thought, which is the sentence. What does that emotion sound like? And then noticing your behaviors. And if you send that to me, I'm going to give you some feedback. This is a free gift, friends. This is amazing. So I don't just do this every week, but this is something that I want to see if you're getting. Because on my side of the screen, not knowing if you're truly getting it, I would love to serve you by giving you my feedback, because then I can guide you through it. And then for those of you who email me, I am going to give you a tool that's going to help you move towards what you want instead of staying in this place where you are right now. Your belonging resilience is going to improve. You're going to be able to show up in rooms. You're going to be able to handle other people's emotions. You're going to be able to become more responsive rather than reactive. You're going to be able to become a steady presence emotionally instead of feeling like you're going up and down all the time. So if that's you, send me your answers and I will send you the tool that will give you that kind of breakthrough. Hope you're having a great week, everyone. Keep being brave.